Hello everyone, welcome back to Your Trauma Talks presents Trauma Behind the Glamor.
Step into the world behind the spotlight with Trauma Behind the Glamor, a powerful new podcast hosted by none other than Ra. Each week, Ra sits down with artists from all walks of life, models, fashion designers, actors, and musicians who share their unfiltered stories of struggle and resilience.
Well, you see my guest right here? You see my guest right here? Mr. Daniel Chacon from Colombia. And he is about to tell you all a story. One of those that we have not heard on Your Trauma Talks as of yet. Today we will hear that story that we always speak about. There once was a man who had the blues because he had no shoes. Down the street, he met a man who had no feet. Today, we are going to speak to Daniel, and Daniel is about to get the spotlight to tell you his story. And this is Your Trauma Talks.
Hi everyone, I'm from Colombia. I'm Daniel Chacon, and I'm 29, and I was here in New York for 8 years. And when I came here for the first time, I was doing a lot of works that like immigrants make, and I work with a deli, and I work in a laundry, and I make a lot of things that immigrants make when them came to New York. So a part of my story starts in Colombia. I really love this city, and when I was here for the first time, it's incredible to me, like see how like the people in this city works, and like that opens my mind a lot. So that's why I don't like return to Colombia, and I decide to stay here in New York and make a life in here. So like 2 years after that I came here, I have an accident, and that accident changed my life, because when I have that accident I lost my leg, and it's like something that makes me understand things that I never thought about it. And I have a really hard time like 6 years ago when I lost my leg. 6 years ago when I lost my leg, because I was in the life like just thinking in the clouds, and after that I like start understand many things that it never know.
Continue too.
Okay.
Tell us. Okay, so you had an accident. How did the accident happen?
So I was walking I was going to like see a game, a football game. I was walking to the place that I was gonna go, and a car go to the sidewalk, and it hit me, and like it was terrible, because like I was like very close to death, and it like changed my life. So I was in the hospital for 5 months, and I have many surgeries, around 24 surgeries, and it like has so hard to me and to my family too, because my family can be here, can be part of my like process, and it the only person that can be here, it was my brother. He lives in Canada, and he came to like visiting to me for 2 months. And he is like he helped me with the things that I can't did in that moment, because I wasn't able to do anything. I was in bed for 4 months, and it was so hard to me understand many things that the doctors tell me about what is gonna be my future and how it gonna works the things that I need to do in my real life, like for example walk, like simple things that I didn't understand in that moment, and it changed my life a lot. And I be part of rehab in the hospital for 2 months. But after that, in November, when I was in like out of the hospital, a Mexican family like opened the doors of them house to me, and I lived with them for around 2 years. And like in 2019, in 2020, the COVID came, and everybody locked down, and it makes me feel that everybody has to like live the same thing that I lived when I was in the hospital. So it made me like focus in and concentrate in my mental health and how it can be my next years. I tried to start have friends, because it was so hard to me like make a real relation with people, because I start to have many insecurities about myself, about my body, and I always thinking that the people around me like looked me when I was walking in the street, or I was wondering about how the people think about me. So it has hard to understand. So in that process, I see that everybody like tells you about God, but like you need to leave God to understand what it is. So for me in that process, like I went to a lot of pain, and when I was in that pain, like I know God like better than before, because God like gives me the tools that makes me like go out of that sensation that I have, that emotions, that pain that I have, and that feeling that I am not enough for anybody, because that's the way that I was thinking in that time. So when I look back and like I see how the people was interested to like know about my story, that empowers me, that makes me have a purpose with the message that I have to tell to everybody, and more for the people, not just for them. Like I have that mission just for me, because it sounds selfish, but at the same time, if I can help me, I can help anybody. So that's why it was so important to me understand which is the message that I want to like share with everybody. You can go through the pain, and you can understand your emotions and your feelings, and you can be present and like know God in the process.
Wow, you have just heard this amazing soul story in a little, but we're gonna get more in details on your trauma talks, and that is trauma. He laughed, he smiled. Daniel, how do you do it?
I'm just like, I think it's God. God is like part of that journey.
Well, you said some things, And Freddie reminded me to speak slowly. So you said some things when it came to when you had to walk down that street, and then you had to realize. Basically, what I understood from you is that you had to realize, you have to really call upon God. You know, some of us forget God. We know the stories from childhood, right?
Yes.
We have our beloved Son of God that come to earth and died for us, right? And people don't talk about this all the time. Is either they make it into a problem, or they make it into something religious, or they make it into something that's bad that people don't understand. It wasn't put here for that. Now, when I see it as God himself, the Son of God, as we say, as Jesus, he had to carry his own cross.
Yes.
And I always reference this because I know for a fact that sometimes I text some people and I say, this damn cross is heavy. And I understand. So you could imagine you. When I hear you 2 months in rehab, some people go through 18 months of rehab, learning how to balance themselves by losing a limb, learning how to adapt with life, because you have to go to a psychologist now, or you have to go for
like
therapy.
Reborn.
Yes, you losing a limb is something that's really, people don't understand losing a finger, how it could be, much less losing a leg. So here we are now, and we're gonna go in a little bit.
Okay.
What's your feelings when you woke up in that hospital after being jolly, being ready to go to a game, just walking a normal day of your life down the street, and life changes?
Yes.
So you tell me when you wake up and you realize what has happened.
Like I did through for a lot of things, like emotions, and for frustrated, and I be through for I be true for frustrated. I be true for like understand about responsibility. That you told already about the Jesus in the cruz. ¿Cómo se dice cruz?
The cross?
And the cross, because when I wrote my book, I wrote about that, about the responsibility that we need to have in our own lives to understand our emotions, how it can handle it, like what can I do with this sensation in my body. I think this is the hard part, the hardest part of like mental health, how the emotions can be in the same page with the thoughts, because like we like mix it every time and we don't see like in a perspective. So I think it was a process to understand how can I observe this that happens to me, that I lost my leg, that my family is in Colombia, that I don't have any friends around me, that this process is so painful, that I have a lot of pain, that like physical pain and pain in my thoughts too. Like I have many emotions that I don't understand, and at the same time I was like doing drugs, because the hospital gave me drugs to like calm my pain. So it was hard to understand. Like I stopped using fentanyl like 3 months after the accident. So when I saw the whole situation, I was like so impacted, because it was so hard to understand everything at the same time.
Wow. And when I really calculate, this thing happened to you just right before the pandemic, and then the pandemic would hit.
Yes.
So you went through it like while everyone is going through it, but then you said while the pandemic happened and everyone was on lockdown, you realize you're all in the same space because your mobility that you were at that time, you're here in a place where you're healing, but they are now in a place where they're just stagnant. They're not moving. They don't know what to do with their life while you're processing and healing, which was something. So I say the story all the time. In 2018, I was diagnosed with lower back problems and a lot of pain. And the first thing the pain management does is they give you opioids, which we all know is oxycodone. I've been on opioids where and this is not the first time I've been saying this, it's throughout the past 7+ years I've been on this show. I've been on opioids from 2018. And then it got worse in 2020 during the pandemic. While I wasn't a face that was behind the camera, I was in front of the camera interviewing people. I was interviewing people like comedians. I was interviewing people like Emily Sortiz, going around musicians, different things. And then all of a sudden I'm in this pain. The pandemic hits. I'm locked down. And here I am in constant pain. I was drowning out that pain, you know how? I was drinking vodka, smoking weed, and just waiting every single 4 hours, popping at least 4 opioids.
Wow.
Yes, and you just sit there and you just lie there for time to pass, for the pain, just that buzz. And that's what I remember throughout now. I don't feel the pain, which is the great thing about it. I do have pain, but at the end of the day I remember the buzz. So now you were put on fentanyl, which is one of the worst. Right now, we have a very big problem in the city with that. So I'm happy that we're speaking about this. How did you manage to warn off? Just before we go into that question, I'd just like to let everyone know, in August of 2020, back then, I had my surgery in 2020, in July of 2020, and by August, I woke up one morning, and I said, hell no, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? You're on opioids, my friend. You gotta get out.
Wake up.
And I just said, that's it. I'm taking this pain. Move along to like about October. I'm complaining to my brother who had the surgery 2 years before. And I'm telling him, I can't take the shit. This pain is, sometimes it's so hell. I don't take nothing. I don't take nothing. He goes like, grah. See, that's the thing with y'all. Y'all are accustomed taking the heavy painkillers. Just try some Tylenol when you have pain. And would you believe it? I took the damn Tylenol, it helped.
Wow.
You know? So sometimes you just bypass the things that will just help you for that moment to get onto the worst stuff. So tell us how you weaned off, or how you got off all of a sudden.
Okay, for me it was, I think our brain, it sometimes is tricky. And I was thinking that I in pain, but not really. Like I just make me an addict with the fentanyl. So it was like so hard to me understand that it makes me more problems that gives me any solutions for the situation that I lived in that moment. So when I was talking with the doctors and they told me that it needs to be like a stop because my organism was
damaging,
like so slow to digest everything and all the stuff that makes when you're like consume this kind of drugs. It was like I was in a situation that my mind doesn't understand at all. It was so hard to give that step to stop doing that drugs.
Wow.
So when I was I need your help. Cuando yo estaba en esa situación, lo que hice
When I was in that situation, what I did,
lo que hice fue ir hacia el dolor que me representaba vivir eso.
so I just went through the pain that represented myself to leave that.
That I don't have my leg, that this situation it was so hard, like so heavy to carry, about how it's gonna be when I be outside, like living without my leg and living like with the eyes of everybody on me.
Wow. You know, you said so many little details there, and coming out of something like that and understanding that today I basically am I'm disabled in a certain way. I'm missing a limb that I depend on. Your 2 feet. People tell you all the time, get on your 2 feet. And here you are. But this is where the bright side comes in, and this is what I love about your trauma talks. The trauma comes, but there's always an outcome of something great. I came in this morning to interview this amazing, beautiful woman, Martha. And when I came in, the first person I was greeted with was Daniel. And here I am, this jolly guy, and he's moving around, he's helping us take pictures, there's nothing wrong with him. Because he did that. He overcome.
Yes.
What were some of the challenges that made you say, heck, I can do this?
Like, ¿cómo no entiendo muy bien la pregunta?
Like, como, ¿qué fue aquellos retos que tú dijiste, sí puedo hacerlo?
At the beginning, like I was thinking that I can do it anything. Like I wasn't be able to do anything. But when I was like looking around the things that I can make in my house, for example, like wake up in the morning and take a shower, that was a victory for me at the beginning. And no necesitaba hacer nada más.
I didn't need to do anything else at that time.
Like this day, it was just, I take a shower. That was enough for me today. And then the next day, I take a walk around my house. That was enough to me at that time. And I start to make a little steps, and I start to understand that steps gives me like significant
Meaning,
in my life.
I love that, and this, we talk about this all the time on your trauma talks. We speak about the steps, even us, with even Marta, with her show and everything. We all stand up and we put a ladder up. We don't know what the hell we are going up to on this ladder. All we know, the ladder is holding up. Now, when you go to fix your roof, you put your ladder up, it's holding on the house. But when we decide to have this dream or this goal that we have, and we put the ladder up there and we start climbing, it's being held up. It's the same with you. He took the steps up one day at a time. And again, coming around to you with God and Jesus, one day at a time, sweet Jesus. That's a powerful thing.
Yes.
So just by him getting up, taking a shower, was the small victories that he had. Just by him being able to walk around was great victories. And I love it. You start realizing every day. And now, so yeah, just like, it's accepting and coming around. You had no family around you, nobody, no friends. You're here in a city, and not any city. You're here in New York City, the Big Apple, alone with something new.
Yes. Yeah, I start to understand that the only things that matters is the process, and accepts the things like in the way that it are.
Wow, powerful.
It doesn't have any sense.
Yeah, you said that there's nothing else you can do but accept
Yes.
how things are happening.
Like this is the most important thing in the life. Like if you accept yourself, if you accept the circumstances, if you accept your process, you're gonna be okay. you're gonna be present. And I think
Beautiful.
it's so hard for many people to understand that it needs to let it go everything and like just be in here.
I love this. And you see, for all who is listening, what he just said is golden. Accepting yourself, loving yourself, knowing and understanding the situation, trust me, it helps you process to be better. So 6 years down the line, and tell them about how you have a book out, and tell them how you co-host and you help your beautiful partner Marta, and you support her, and all the great things, and you're all bringing out a Spanish podcast coming out talking about life. So tell them how amazing this journey has been in 6 years.
It's amazing because when I start to understand that it's not any like limitation to do things, I start doing a lot of things. Like I make podcasts, I make content for social media, I wrote a book, and I make like for example, part of the things that I can imagine that I have again, it was like have a relationship with somebody. And like the life gives me that, and God gives me that again, because I start to understand which is the illusion,
The hope,
like the illusion that we have with the things that we can, that we think that we can do. And the reality is you can do whatever you want. You just need to like dissolve the illusion, and everything it can be happened, you know. So
I love this.
yes, I have a podcast, and I wrote a book, and I have my own company, and I have a lot of things for the community and I know that is just the beginning.
Wow, beautiful. And he says, I know it's just the beginning. So Daniel, tell them where they can find you. You're on social media.
Yes, you can follow me in Instagram, Daniel Chacon 9, and all my social media is Daniel Chacon 9.
Daniel Chacon.
And actually, I have a podcast that is in Spanish, and it is for mental health, that it calls Desahogo.
I love it, but you need to spell your name for them.
Yeah, DanielChacon.
you
Beautiful, Daniel Chacon.
You need to say Chinese.
Chacon.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's spelling his own name. I love it. So you'll follow Daniel, and I hope you share this, because someone else who is going through something fresh, because every single day there's a trauma in someone else's life. And this is some golden nuggets that Daniel just shared. You heard him for yourself. You have to accept the things that happen. You have to understand it. You have to be who you are. Just as you heard in the beginning, there once was a man who had the blues because he had no shoes. One day he met a man with no feet. And you have to remember, what is meant for you shall never pass you by. And what passes you by was never meant for you. I would like to thank you, Daniel, for sharing this little part of your life and your journey.
You need to invite me again.
I will.
It's gonna be like better conversation when I like
level up.
Yeah.
I know.
Gonna be.
Actually, this was spontaneous. Daniel came with the amazing Marta here, and I decided, he has an amazing story. Let's do this. So Daniel, I want to tell you thank you again. Thank you, Marta, for being here, sitting with him to help us translate, get it together. But he did amazing, and this is what I love. Thank you so much, and all of you, remember, as I said, share it because someone else needs to hear it. This is Rob, Mr. Trauma Talks. We love you all.
Bye.